wherever you're watching from. Good morning, good morning, good evening. Just want to say welcome, 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 welcome. I decided to come on because I've been doing a lot of, soul searching, looking at my life, being grateful, trying to accept the things that I cannot change, trying, and I know you've heard me use this term a lot, trying to be merciful and gracious, making, and again, I'm going to use my favorite word, making an intentional effort to be a better me in spite of all the challenges, in spite of all the disappointment, in spite of all the pain, just becoming a better me for me, becoming a better me for me, so that I'll be a better and the person God intended me to be for someone else. And I've heard this term before, resting in your soul or sitting in your soul. And I've been thinking about it. What does it mean to me? What does it mean to you? Because it might mean different things for different people. So I decided to just come on and share a little. Sitting in your soul, what does it mean for you? So I'm going to give you a little bit of what it means for me and see if it means the same thing for you or it brings a wider light to how you look at it. So, sitting in your soul. When I thought about it, the first step would be accepting your faults, accepting the imperfectness of who we are, accepting the things that I have, because I'm going to make this be personal, the things that I'm struggling with, that I'm trying to change, I'm trying to work on, and it might still annoy people because they're not recognizing that this has been, there is a welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in. As you come in, please like for me, share, and subscribe. The things that I'm working on that people, family, anybody might not recognize that this is a challenge for me. And I'm fighting and I'm trying so hard to work on it. But they're so stuck. There are people that can be so stuck in who they thought they saw you as in your earlier life, all the mistakes you've made, all the stuff you did, and you are doing everything you can to grow and to be better. And there are those individuals that will never recognize it. So sitting in my soul for me is realizing that there are going to be individuals that there's nothing I can do to make them look at me the way I am now. There are individuals that will always find that fault, that issue, that thing that you are working on, and sometimes use it against you. So how do I reconcile that and move on and continue to grow? Sitting in your soul. I'm going to personalize it. Sitting in my soul. Sitting in my soul means that I'm going to accept the things that I cannot change. And I'm going to work on the things that I can change. And even though X has not seen the growth or the change, Y might see that, and that should be enough for me. Because growth takes time. Growth is not dependent on anybody's idea of when you should or how you should. Growth is an individual thing. Growth takes time. Growth takes work. And when I have learned and continue to learn that when I recognize that I'm an imperfect person in an imperfect world that was made in the image of God, however, something intersect that made it negative. Something intersect that make it negative, but it wasn't of my creator. So resting in my soul, resting in your soul, taking time to be grateful, not only for the new car or the new house or the big bank account, but the small things. I still have a life that I'm able to pay my bills, I'm able to function, and the biggest piece for me, I'm able to make a difference in somebody's life. And wanting acceptance. And I used to be that person. And that's why this thing sitting in your soul has really had me thinking that I decided to come on and share and, see if anyone has heard of it or is going through their search also. Because there's always going to be something or someone that doesn't like us. And how we deal with that has an impact on our life. Are we going to let it burden us down? Or are we going to let it crush our soul to the point that we can't function? Or are we going to continue to do the work in our lives to make us better people? Accepting oneself is the biggest growth. And I'm sure we all have something about our bodies, something about my eyes is not big enough, my ears is too big, my tummy is too big, my hip is not wide enough. We all have that thing. Honestly, when I was younger, I do. When I was younger, I do. Now, I'm good. I'm good. I'm never going to look like Barbie, and I don't want to look like Barbie. I actually like looking like me. I like it. I like it. So there's errors in my life that I've accepted. And then there are things that are still challenging. And when I take the time to rest in my soul, and when you take the time to rest in your soul, what it means for me is looking at opportunities to constantly grow and shed and change and evolve and focusing on what matters. That I am not in control of my life. I am not in control of the air that I breathe. I'm not in control of some of the circumstances and some of the waves that life throws at me. And we all have those waves. We are all in this sea of life. My wave might be splashing 5 feet above me. Yours might be midway. So, taking time to take care of myself, yourself. And sometimes we have to just lock out the negative things. Because what I've learned, that the people closest to you can be the ones that hurt you the most. But how you deal with that, is what makes the difference. Because the mind controls the body. And if everything that is being said about us, everything that is being thrown at us, we take it on, then we have all type of ailments that comes upon us. We're not able to function properly. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining. We're not able to function properly because we focus so much on these things. And we all have been there. I used to do it so much. The older I get, the more I'm learning that I cannot change people. I cannot make people do what they don't want to do. But I don't have to settle either. I don't have to settle. And looking into myself and seeing my faults and seeing my weaknesses and seeing also the good stuff. Seeing the good part of me helps to combat all the negative stuff. Finding that one thing every day that brings joy. That's my new mantra. Finding that one thing every day that brings added, enhanced joy, happiness. Well, joy comes from within. And I see myself as a very joyful person. And sometimes that joy, even in pain, lingers because I am a very sociable, outgoing, joyful person. But happiness sometimes can be interrupted by environmental stuff around you, people around you that constantly beats you down. Doesn't matter how you try to come up for air, they're always trying to push you down. How do we deal with that? Acknowledging that there is a higher power than me is what has helped me and what will continue to help me to cope. So resting in our soul or making peace with who we are, accepting who we are, is for us. It's for us. It's just like forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about the person. Forgiveness is not about the person. Forgiveness is about us. It's about me. I forgive you because it makes my life better. And my higher power, God, has forgiven me so much. So I forgive you. Finding that peace that I need for my life, I have to rest. Not just in my soul, but in Christ. So resting in my soul for me, it's bigger than just humanity. It's learning and continually focusing, consistently connecting with my God. And even though I am not perfect, realize that in His sight, I'm worthy. Because life is rough. Life can be hard. Yes, you're able to swipe the credit card and it go ding. Yes, you're able. But we all have something. Not because my credit card worked doesn't mean my friend's credit card is working. So when she lashes out on me or he lashes out on me, or my husband or my children, when they lash out on me, their pain is showing up. And how I respond to that is what's going to make the difference. And this affects every area of our life, every area. Because you know that statement, misery love company? Oh yes, misery has a crowd. I've always said, I'm not joining that line. I'm not joining it. You deal with your issues while I'm dealing with mine. Because you might not know how hard I'm working, to get rid of this thing. And if you know it, believe me, I do too. I do too. If more than one person is telling you the same thing about your behavior, at some point you have to accept it. And then look in your soul. Look how you go about it. It's not gonna stop overnight. But as long as I acknowledge it to myself and be true to myself and be honest with it and walk in my purpose. Because it's not every bell that rings is a school bell or a church bell. You know, I love the place I'm at with my age. It's like, I remember Oprah said it, and I go, right, because I was in my 40s, and I go, right. But honestly, something happened after 50 in my brain. Something happened after 50 in my brain. Things became clearer. They became clearer. And as I got older, they got clearer and clearer. And I'm now appreciating myself more, understanding myself more, accepting my challenges. And it's not perfection. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It just means that that's the way to keep going forward in telling myself and keep trying that I am working on this issue. I am working on being a better me. And even though it's still a challenge, I'm going to push through it. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing because by me keep pushing, I hope I'm an encouragement to someone. And that's how I'm changing my mindset with the help of my God. Is to know that the things that I go through and I can come through them encourages someone else. Because we hear it. People say, how do you do that? How do you cope? How do you laugh after losing your son? I laugh when the pain is not there. And it's not there at the intense. Sometimes, like last week, it was rough because it was my birthday. Mother's Day is coming up, but I'm being intentional about it now and saying to myself, keep pushing. And yes, I talk about my son's death a lot, and I hope it does not annoy anybody, but that's the way for me to cope, to always remember him. So sitting in our soul and the meaning from one person to the other is different, but life throws blocks at some people, bricks at some others, stones at some others, and bulldozers at others. So when we rest and take the time to come up for air, stop beating up ourselves because our chin is too big and our nose is too wide. My wide nose, this is my signature. Because I think if it was straight, I wouldn't be this cute. Now, when I was younger, but growth takes time. It's a minutely, daily thing. You know, I love the 12-step program. When I was in college, and anybody that knows me knows that anything that is difficult, I'm going to try it. I'm going to get involved in it. I don't like easy stuff. It bores me. That's why I can't do chit chat talk. How is the weather? Oh, the Yankees playing today. I don't know how to do that. Sometimes I force myself to participate in those conversations, but it's not really me just blowing the wind. It's not really me. I'll talk about it for a couple of seconds and then I'm done. Can we talk about something more meaningful or, you know? This thing really, really sat on me this weekend, and that's why I decided to share. Taking time to appreciate ourselves, taking time to love ourselves, taking time to go inside and pull some emotions out, because we seem to be becoming an emotionalist, callous society where life doesn't matter anymore because I am alive and it's not happening to my family. So as we go through this week, let's make this week better than last week. Let's deal with the things in the now and don't hold on to them and have them create obstacles and extra pains in our lives. Let's not just function like a machine. Let's have some humanness. Let's have some humanness about us as we go through this week. Have a good day. And I hope this nugget that I've shared will encourage or widen your thought in this sitting in your soul and what it means to you. Thanks again for watching. Remember, when you watch this episode, please like, share, and subscribe for me. I appreciate you all. Good afternoon.